I'm an empath by nature. I have a great deal of empathy for moist men because, it's not natural for a man to be moist between the knees and the cheeks. And at the end of the day, you're cranky every single day for one of a couple of reasons. A, you wake up to a wet spot every single day. You know why? You're moist, fam. So you got to change your sheets every single day. You got so much laundry every week because you got to change your sheets every single day because you're moist. Or you sleep on plastic. But if you sleep on plastic, you hear that all night long. Man's ain't got a good night's sleep since 1998. So I understand you're moist and you're cranky. And at the end of the day, moist energy in a man breeds hatred.
And I hope y'all use bird. Take off these glasses. I don't have to read anything because I'm not reading off the script. Because I did this already. Anywho. So what are we going over today? We're going over a couple different things. This is part 2 of Star Wars of this week, past Thursday. So we have another one coming up in less than 12 hours. I think the 1201. They're going to try to go after either ECC or somebody from 159 again. So hopefully we can get that. Let's see, this one's gonna play. I did this on purpose because I didn't want to play this video and them knowing we're coming after. We hunting them down. We're coming for them. So they got some more coming to them for sure. Anyway, housekeeping. I like to say thank you to all those folks that's already subscribed. Don't forget to hit the like button. Pass through Discord from either the group chat. Just make sure you hit the link. It'll take you directly to the to my YouTube channel, and hit the like button. I definitely need it for the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed already and you want to get more content, I will be featuring a lot of other different things as well on top of this, but really just recording the process of what you're trying to do here. So before we get into the video, lastly, like I was saying on the other past brief video, Quintastic is doing her best here it was like 1 against 50, so she was doing absolutely phenomenal. I want to give her a shout out again just because she was just everywhere, at least where I was. So I lost like 4,000 troops, you know what I mean? She was tearing my back out. She was ripping it up. So here we go. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So this is more of clearing out the section, got everything going. This is where, you're personally looking at it. I'm looking at it as, okay, we got this so far, because they're not even trying to go over on the other side, just because even if they did, we have backup there with KGS and the other folks from KN2, and then we also have PXR. So it's kind of like baiting them to try, because then they'll lose a lot of troops. Now, as you can see, I started going into this area because this is where the larger folks are, which are like Pawn, King Alt. There was a few. Hold on. Tuck was there. Valkyrie was there. Warrior Queen was there. So we had pretty much everybody over here doing their best to get us. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get to the other areas that they're in. Because the way their hive was, they had multiple different. They have, I think, 3 alliances there. 3, I'm putting up 2, but I meant 3. And so they had their ACs or alliance centers alternated, so they were kind of like overlapping, so they could, either way, it's harder to get to their final destination. So we knew we couldn't nuke them anymore after this point, so what we're just trying to do is just run up the sword and get a whole bunch of points. Just remember that your time limit is 2 hours. So we've been at this about 40 minutes. and no one's really done anything. So just especially in this area, because keep in mind I started with 3,000 energy, so we definitely hit over that 5 million for the Mars craft. And then also, since we were fighting within certain realms, you also got merits from this too as well. So that was really cool about getting the merits towards the end of the merit period, just to raise your little, your score. But as you can see, we're all waiting for tilers. So it's very important for people to use less tiles. So you should drop as many as you possibly can. That would be, this is towards the end, so I didn't really mind dropping them down to size, because KN2 is currently about 3 million ahead. So really it's going to boil down to who gets what, if someone gets somebody to compete against. I don't know how it's going to work out, because there's KGS, there's KN2, and then there's 4RT at the time slot. PXR had the early slot. We don't know who they got, but they went up they got back up immensely. So looking at this now, going over it now, I kind of wanted a little bit of time to digest it. I like to watch the videos. So we're just skimming across, trying to get to the upper right hand corner, up to the right, because that's where their hub is. So you can see us marching our way through, so people doing the tiles and whatnot. Now I'm full of tiles, so I'm hitting AC, I'm hitting the buildings, right? Feasibly having 20 available is definitely good for tiling, especially since we're trying to get to a certain area. Now I don't know if you saw that, but Queen-tastic, let me I think you should see her scoot up here. She's gonna come across the bottom. She's right there. So she's over here doing her best to get as many kills as possible. So if somebody were to hit that, and we had Pond and Alt and all the bigger alliances, but they really going after us, letting us hit it first, and then all of a sudden, we're blown up, and then we have to re-heal our troops again. And then, like I said, it sucks to have to retrain those particular ones, and so it makes it quite interesting when you get the ability to learn how to do those things, because brand new people wouldn't even know, just, why isn't this not dying? Oh, I have someone stronger in it that's killing my troops at the same time. It's quite interesting. I find it immensely funny, and that's why most people that are looking at this or going over Star Wars, now this is what makes it interesting. Your destruction, design, just pulling all that stuff off and killing things out of the way. I think it's awesome. This is probably one of the hooks of the game. If they didn't have Star Wars, not being able to compete, since it's, like I said, the very first one, they didn't want no smoke. They lost a lot of troops. That was the first time that they ever got smoked. They got smoked that time too. They only scored 1,500 points on the last one. So they were like, and they didn't even get in, and they only got the points because they were killing our tiles that we took over there from them. Which is quite interesting. At the same time, on this one, they didn't even get, they could have got it, but they were too busy defending, So that just puts an idea in my brain for next one. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking right now, but if you're a smart person, a thinking person, having the ability to have backup is very important. Now, one of the things that I noticed on here when you're looking at everything is that we're still trying to push to get to that side over there. And the biggest holdup is not having enough tiles let go. Since it's the end of the season, for this next one, I'm probably going to release all my tiles so I can have 70. I noticed at the end, I'll go over a little bit of the scores and whatnot, but it was quite interesting to find out how people were scoring their points. And then I was going to go over how to score points, but then once I found out, what they were doing is definitely important to make sure you're hitting the high level buildings first. The little ones don't get you as much points as the high level because they're going to have more of a defense, right? So the more destruction you provide, you want to go after the larger targets. Going after the small ones is just like, chump change compared to it. So you want something that has a higher value. Not necessarily the building, but the research it has on it, like how strong it is. So in your season masteries, people that have that research, that have the resistance up high, right? Because they get attacked a lot. You can change it in your settings. I was thinking about doing the masteries, and I'm just convinced I shouldn't at this prior. I mean, unless asked, but I'm not gonna give you the strategy. I'll give you the basics and how, and I have a video on that. Like I said, we got too many moist teed, people out there. They know who they are, and I'd rather keep it to myself. You can find it on We Have Game. If you ask me to show it to you there, I can set it up to where I can, have private kind of group that I would share it with, if that was something that people would be interested in. I'd make time for that to help people out, to learn the strategy on how to score more points and how to build your troop count, the fastest way to helping you get to the next level, creating a farm system for yourself, so that way you can have crystals for your buildings that you're definitely going to need there. And so there's a lot of different strategies you can use, but the season masteries are very important, especially going forward. Now, I don't know what's going to go on in season 5 since we are going in our last days. We got 3 days, a little bit less than 3 days left, and so it's going to make it easier. I heard that there's not going to be point values for it, but you still need, for your power and whatnot. So I'm going to stay in the current setup I am in my season masteries, and I might bail it out on another video. I think I'm able to at least show that much. So what we're doing here is just straight clearing this out, since we don't have any more nukes, but we're in the fertile lands of them. So it's very important while you're doing this on your video, when you're doing Star Wars, and you're on attack mode. What I wanted to show is what we're at right here. I mean, it's crazy. Most people don't even score that much, if you look at the past ones. And then as you can see, I'm getting my kills and getting all the stuff ready. And so I'm checking the AO, making sure there's nobody there, and then getting back into the action. So we have people stealing tiles. That's another way to get points too as well, and crystals. But you got to make sure you drop everything that you got, because while the battle's going on, since we can't get the ACs, we don't want all the ACs. We don't want to burn them down at all. We already got one, that's good. And then what we're trying to do is then eat up everything else. Now, as you can see, that eating up the tiles will eat up the energy, especially doing the buildings and whatnot. As you can see, mine dropped, so I started doing my own thing here. And then your favorite tile master, Quintastic, came over and sit in the resource centers, or the seasonal building, excuse me, and came over and started messing with us here. So I started losing troops. But it was quite interesting. I took the tile from it just because I wanted it, and then you drop them. So as you can see, that's all I'm pretty much doing here, using it as an anchor, and you can see how fast the energy goes down. So what I would suggest for folks is to make sure they upgrade their cipher. Make sure you get as maximum energy you get there. I would definitely upgrade, what's the center called? Hold on a sec. So this is when I started popping off, like I was telling you. Quintastic wanted to avoid King, Alt, and Pawn because obviously they do serious damage, and eventually they came over towards this way after she was killed on the other ones over there. But you want to make sure, especially if they have the hive this way, this setup, what's important to find out is that, you know, King Alt trying to get up in the video. And then everybody came over here because, you know, I had to say something to him. So this goes on, as you can see, once the Star Wars come out. We got another hour. I sped it up, so that's why I broke it up into parts. So this one's probably going to be over in about another 2 minutes. So some housekeeping here. So make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to comment, whether it's good or bad, I don't care. Good button. I like bad likes as much as I like good ones or whatever. But for the most part, just make sure that when you organize your situation that you have enough people on at the same time, 1, and 2, that you open up and release your tiles. 10 is just not enough. 20 would probably be better. 30 for sure, because the more that you can attack, the better it is for you, especially hitting the seasonal buildings for the points. Now when we last looked at it, was 883,000 to like 195, I believe. And so this starts to become a route, is what we like to call it. So this right here was the feeding time, is what I would call this, and getting as much in, you know, getting much love up in the club, as they say, tearing up backs. Quintastic does come over here eventually. I misread it. This is a soft spot where I was doing quite well for myself. As you can see, I'm attacking the larger buildings there, trying to get to that 29 over there and that 30, because those are the higher valued ones. Now I should have went the opposite way, but I was figuring, you know, take out these little ones too. You want to take out any strategy barracks. It's very important. So this is the end of part 2. Stay tuned to part 3. It gets a little bit more interesting. And they can't duck us for long, because karma is what it is. This is K-Boss, and I'm out.
I'm not friendly, period. People be weird, bro. Their morals be different. Their energy is not the same. Real niggas don't want to be nowhere near a fake nigga, period. I don't want to greet them. I don't want to bump them.
If you got 20 haters, you need 40 of them motherfuckers. What is you complaining about? If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me.